Welcome dear students. Here we are going to learn the course that is called as CHG 290. Okay. So let's start. Here we already discussed the reaction mechanism, which is mostly used in the organometallic chemistry. That is what? The oxidative addition reaction. Next, that is reductive elimination. That is next is the migratory insertion and the beta hydrogen elimination. All these reaction we will learn. We already learned. Okay. Today we are going to learn or discuss the application of all these reaction in the homogeneous catalysis. Mostly in the homogeneous catalysis, the organometallic compound are used. Okay, so let's start. That is the organometallic catalyst. Okay, in that, before to start the organometallic catalyst, we are learn what is the catalyst and the type of the catalyst. Okay, here these are the type of the catalyst. What is the catalyst? You know very well, the catalysis process, that means the substance which is used to increase the rate of reaction without participating, and if these are participated in the reaction, they are what are not recoverable. Okay, these are recoverable. Here we will learn how this catalyst is used in the different organic reaction, how these are recoverable. Okay, so next topic, that is what the types of the catalysis. Mostly the catalysis having two types. First, that is called as a homogeneous catalysis, and the second, that is called as a heterogeneous catalysis. What it means? Homogeneous catalyst, here that means here the catalyst and the reagent are in the same phase. Both of these are in a same phase. Sorry. These are in a same phase. Okay. Same phase, that means what? If this homogeneous catalyst is liquid in state, that time our reagent also in a liquid in state. If this is A plus B is equal to C product. Okay, then here this is the we use for completion of this reaction catalyst. Okay, if this catalyst which is in a liquid in state, that time our reactant or this reagent also in what? Liquid in state. That is called as a homogeneous catalysis. Okay, then what is the heterogeneous catalysis? Heterogeneous catalyst, that means the catalyst and the reagent both are in a different phase. If A and B are the reactant, here we get the product C. We use the catalyst. Then what happen? If the A and B are the reactant which are in a liquid state, that time here the catalyst may be in a solid or the gaseous phase. Okay, this type of catalysis is known as a heterogeneous catalysis. Okay, that means here these are some parameter which explain the difference between the heterogeneous catalysis and the homogeneous catalysis. First is the phase. That means in heterogeneous catalysis the phases are gaseous or the solid, and in the homogeneous catalysis usually the liquid or the solid which are soluble in the reactant. These are soluble in what? Reactant. That's why here they have the same phase. Okay, they form a homogeneous mixture. Next, that is for the heterogeneous catalysis, temperature required is very high. Second parameter is what? That required temperature. required temperature for the heterogeneous catalysis is high, and for homogeneous it require very low temperature, less than 250 degree Celsius. Okay. Next, catalytic activity. The catalytic activity in the heterogeneous catalysts are very low. Why? Because reactant and the catalyst which are not in the same phase, that's why their activity is going to decrease. But in homogeneous case, they have the high catalytic activity. Next, product selectivity. Here catalytic activity is low, that's why the product selectivity which is also less. And here in homogeneous case, the product selectivity is very high. The catalyst recycling, that means what? Whenever catalyst is used for the conversion of reactant to the product, there is a cycle, and here this catalyst recycle. After the recycling, we get the original catalyst as it is, that is the catalyst recycling. In case of heterogeneous catalysis, this catalyst recycling is simple and cost effective, but in case of homogeneous, it is very expensive and the complex. Why? Because this reactant and the catalyst having the one phase, and that's why for separation of the catalyst is very difficult. Okay, and that's why this process is very expensive and the complex. Reaction mechanism in the heterogeneous catalysis, reaction mechanism are not understand properly. This is a poorly understand. But the homogeneous catalysis, this is reasonably well understood mechanism. Okay, and this mechanism we will learn in our session, that is homogeneous catalysis by using the organometallic compound. Okay, here the product separation from the catalyst is very easy. Why? Because they have two different phases, and that's why the product which can be easily separated out. But here in case of homogeneous catalysis, it is very elaborative and sometimes problematic, because both of these having in the same phase, and that's why to separate this product and the catalyst is very difficult. Here the fine tuning of catalyst is difficult in the heterogeneous catalyst, and here in case of homogeneous it is very easy. These are some parameters related to the heterogeneous catalysis and the homogeneous catalysis. In this course, we are going to learn the homogeneous catalyst. Why? Because the organometallic compound form a homogeneous phase with the reactant. Okay, and that's why here we are going to learn the homogeneous catalysis by using a organometallic catalyst. Okay, here first process we are going to learn, that is called as a Monsanto process. Okay, for this Monsanto process we used the catalyst that is called as RHCO2 I2 and bracket minus. This is the catalyst, and this catalyst is what? Organometallic catalyst. This is what? Organometallic catalyst. And here they form a homogeneous phase. Okay, that's why this is called as a homogeneous catalysis. Okay, so let's start to understand the Monsanto process. This Monsanto process, which is mostly useful for conversion of MEI into Monsanto process. Let me understood here. Monsanto process, it is useful for conversion of MEI, that is a methyl iodide, get converted to methanoic acid, MECOOH. Okay, in presence of catalyst that is called as a RHCO I2, diiodocarbonyl rhodium minus. Okay, this is the Monsanto process, and the Monsanto catalyst is what? RHCO I2 minus. Okay, here. So let's start with this. First, what happened, this catalyst, that is RHCO2I2 minus, this for activate this catalyst we use this HI here. Yes, we use this HI which is reacted with the MeOH, then it get converted to the MEI. This is our reactant, and there is a removal of the water molecule. Okay, then this MEI, which on oxidative addition, we get MERHCO2I3 minus. Let me see how this reaction is formed. Okay, our catalyst is what? Our catalyst is RHCO2I2 and minus. Okay, this is our catalyst. This catalyst shows what? Oxidative addition reaction. This shows what? Oxidative addition reaction. We already learned oxidative addition. What is oxidative addition? Here the oxidation state of the metal is increased by 2. Here in this case carbonyl is a neutral, okay, and iodine has a -1 charge, and this complex has a -1. There are the 2 iodine, that means this iodine has a -2 charge, and that's why this rhodium, which has a +1 oxidation state. That means in oxidative addition, the oxidation state of RH is increased by 2 by the addition of what? MEI. Okay, then the 2 reagent which is added to this compound, how? Like this manner, that is RH, here there is a CO, and this addition is in a what? Which manner? Cis manner. Okay, and here at this position there is the addition of Me and the iodine. Okay, sorry, here it's my mistake. There are the 2 carbonyl and 2 iodine is there. Here there are the 2 iodine and the 2 carbonyl compound. Okay, here this is the iodine I, and here another iodine. Okay, and this complex has a -1 charge. Then what happened here? This Me has a -1 charge, and iodine also has a -1 charge, and that's why this oxidation state of rhodium is increased by 2. That means the oxidation state which becomes +3. In first case, the rhodium has oxidation state +1, and after the oxidative addition, this oxidation state of rhodium becomes +3. Like this manner, these rhodium get converted to the +3 oxidation state. And second one is what? This is the square planar compound. It get converted to the octahedral compound. Okay, that their coordination number is increased by 2 also. Here the coordination number is what? Coordination number is 4, and in this case the coordination number is what? Coordination number is 6. That means coordination number also increased by 6. Okay, then in the second step, what happened here? In the second step, insertion is takes place. We already discussed what is the insertion. Insertion of carbonyl is takes place. In this case, what happened? Insertion of carbonyl is takes place in the Me. That means this carbonyl is inserted in between what? RH and the Me. This type of insertion is called as what? One type of the insertion. How it get inserted? Like this manner. That is, here this is RH, here the iodine, here also there is the iodine, here is the iodine, and here this is the carbonyl, and at this position this carbonyl is inserted. This carbonyl is inserted in between the Me and the what? The rhodium. Okay. This is called as what? 1 type of the insertion. In this case, this is the carbonyl. After then, what happened? After the insertion, there is a formation of what? Vacancy. And this vacancy is fulfilled by the addition of the another carbonyl. And then here we get the product, that is what? RH. Here there is a empty space is filled by the incoming carbonyl, because in the insertion reaction there is no change in the oxidation state of the metal, and also what? There is no change in the coordination number. Okay, here we get like this compound. Okay, this is what? C double bond O, and sorry, this is Me. Here this is oxygen, not this, and here and our carbonyl is there. Okay, after that this COMe compound and this iodine, these are in both of these, COMe and iodine, both of these are in the cis position, and that's why the next step is what? Next step is reductive elimination. Reductive elimination. What happened in the reductive elimination? There is what? Removal of the two compounds which are present in the cis position, and that's why there is a removal of what? MECO and I. There is removal of what? MECOI, that is a methoxyiodide. Okay. Then what happened after removing of this RH, which having +3 oxidation state, and after removal of these two compound, it get converted to what? RHCO2I2. Okay, that means here, and this oxidation state is decreases by 2. Here there is a +3 oxidation state, and then after the removal of these, there is a formation of this compound, this having the +1 oxidation state. Okay, that means this is the recovery of our reactant, or sorry, catalysis takes recovery of our catalysis takes place over here. In the reductive elimination, what happened? There is removal of two group which are present in the cis position. They get removed and joins together, and their coordination number is decreased by 2. Okay, here this coordination number is 6, and whenever we get the product, their coordination number is 4. Okay, here you can see here this RsCO2I2, which on oxidative addition reaction, MEI, which is added to this, and there is a formation of MERsCO2I3 minus. Then here the both two reaction which are showing in the one step only, that is what? Addition of carbonyl and 1,1 insertion, 1,1 insertion reaction. There is insertion of carbonyl takes place, and the same time the empty space is recovered by this carbonyl. Then we get this type of product. This, in this case, this RH, which having +3 oxidation state, here this RH having +1 oxidation state, and here also this RH having +3 oxidation state. Then reductive elimination takes place. This CORH and the iodine which are present in the cis position, and that's why they get removed, and we get the MECOI, and here there is a recovery of our catalyst takes place. We get our original catalyst. And what is a reductive elimination? There is a decrease in oxidation state by 2, which is takes place over here, and there is a decrease in coordination number by 2, which is also takes place over here. Okay, then but in the Monsanto process we get the acid. Then how we get the acid? Here in this process, what happened in the first step? This HI and MUH, which is reacted together, there is a formation of what? MEI and the water molecule. This byproduct water molecule, which is reacted with this MECOI, then there is a formation of what? MECOOH, and there is a removal of what? HI. This cycle is continuously goes on, and here this byproduct of this product or conversion of MECOI to the MECOOH, there is a byproduct that is HI. This is reacted with the MEOH, and here we get MEI, which is very useful for to start the catalytic cycle or to start the organic reaction. And the byproduct of these two reaction, we get the water molecule, and this water molecule which is useful for the conversion of the methoxyiodide to the methanoic acid. Okay, this process is called as a Monsanto process. I hope you understand this process. This is very important process, and the question related to this process is what? The catalyst used for which catalyst used for the Monsanto process, which reaction is takes place in this Monsanto process. In this reaction, MEI get converted to what? The MECOOH acid. Okay, methyl iodide get converted to the methanoic acid. Okay, and then what is the oxidation state of the rhodium? These are a question like this question also asked in on this topic. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this lecture. Next time we will learn the next catalytic cycle. Okay, see this lecture and comment as writing your roll number and your name in the comment box. Okay, thank you very much. And one more important thing, for staying healthy, must stay home and keep or wear the mask. Okay, so be take care of you. Thank you very much, dear student.